Nice.
Tall Mike.
So funny, because I didn't know it was pitch. I thought the suggestion was bitch, so my story's totally different. No, okay. Got that over with. When my dear grandmother, my Baba, moved from out of her house that she had shared with my grandfather for over 60 years, she said to me, "Barbara, what do you want of Babas?" And I don't think anyone is ever ready for that question. I certainly wasn't, and I don't think she was either. I don't think anyone's ready to see people pack up your things, pitch out your things, or ponder over your things. But I knew immediately what I wanted, and it was the clock. It was a wooden clock that had always sat on top of my Baba and Gigi's fireplace in the living room. And it would chime the quarter past the hour, half past the hour, quarter to the hour, and then at the big finale, at the top of the hour, it would chime the time. And I loved this clock. As a little kid, I would stand there and be in front of the fireplace and look at the clock, waiting the excruciating 15 minutes for it to chime, these soft, simultaneous pitches that created this beautiful harmony. I think we all think of memories coming from what we see or what we smell. And of course, those scents, everything are etched in my heart from my grandparents' house. But there's a part of our brain that stores memory, also responds to pitch, to what we hear. And my hope was that if I could have this clock, the memories that I had stored of my childhood that lived inside that clock would always be accessible to me as I grew older. My Baba died when she was 97 and a half, long life. And when she died, my uncle decided he was going to keep the clock. And it kind of broke my heart because I get that he had grown up with the clock more than I had. He'd had it since he was a little boy. But she had promised it to me, and it kind of broke my heart. And then there was this one day, he, out of the blue, decided that I got to have the clock. And I was like, wow, so nice of you. Yay. Because it was broken. It didn't play. It didn't chime. It didn't do anything. And he had taken to a clock repair person, whatever, if they exist anymore, and they had pronounced that it was irreparable. But I didn't care because I was content to have the clock silently sit in my house. 2.5 years later, my little 3-year-old son, who is now 10, he was gravitated towards this clock when I took it off the mantle to dust. And like little kids, really interested and excited about the workings of it and how it worked. And I said to him, "Oh, honey, it's broken. It's not going to sing anymore." There are these moments in my life where I'm pretty sure I believe in reincarnation. My son is very much like my Gigi. He smiles like him. He plays the harmonica like him, even though he's never taken any lessons. He loves to fish in the rain just like him. He speaks to the animals just like him. And this little 3-year-old boy opens the back of the clock that I'd seen. There was a back, and I'd looked in it, and quickly and triumphantly finds this big, heavy, silver key that's about twice the size of his little hand, and it's the key that winds the clock. And we had looked for this thing, and he wasn't even surprised. He was sort of like, yeah, it's been there all along. And so I remember he started fiddling through the back, and at this point I was like, well, I don't know if he should be doing this. And his little tiny hands were strumming the delicate strings of the clock's chords, that would play these beautiful things. And I had the instinct to take it away from my son so that he didn't wreck it, even though he was so inquisitive. And then it began to tick-tock, tick-tock. He had made the clock come alive. he knew how to do it. And I was out of words, but if I'd had them, I would have looked at my little son and I would have said, Gigi, is that you in there? And so then it started to chime. And when it started to chime, the tears and memories flooded. And all of a sudden, I could remember the memories of my grandmother's house and my grandfather's house, the big, long table where we all sat and had Christmas dinner, all scrunched so we couldn't move, you know, making tents out of Afghans with my cousins, my grandfather playing the harmonica, my grandmother and I playing cards, watching her stories, The Young and the Restless. And the clock was there with us the whole time, keeping time. And I've renamed the clock's chime. It's called the Westminster chime. But I've named it nostalgic, joyful nostalgic. And it's like this. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Thank you.